So today is a new bike day for me. I haven't been on the bike in about 5 or so years because I had a few injuries. I broke some vertebrae in my back, and I had some ruptured discs, and I also broke some ribs, and then I had to have a couple of surgeries on my hip. And long story short, it definitely precluded me from riding. And so now that I'm able to get back on the bike, I still have some minor injuries, and that's why I'm opting for platform pedals as opposed to clipless pedals. I haven't actually ridden platform since I was like a teenager, but we're going to see how it goes. So I opted for these platform pedals from a company, I think it's called Berm, and I'm going to ride them with toe straps from Fixation. Hopefully it'll give me a little bit more mobility than a traditional clipless pedal would. I'm old and I have a child to worry about, so he needs his daddy, and I've decided to ride this particular bike with a brake. I'm going to use a lever from Diatech. This is called the Dirty Harry, and a front brake lever caliper from SRAM. That's Rival in particular. Here's what the caliper looks like. So nothing fancy, just gonna get the job done. I don't need a tremendous amount of braking power because I still have my legs to help slow the bike down. So for those of you that don't know, on a fixed gear bike, basically the pedals, as they're in motion, so are the wheels. And since the wheels are pretty much in motion the entire time you're out on the road, the pedals kind of continue to move as well. If you lock those pedals up, you're going to be able to lock the rear wheel, which will slow the bike down. You got a big ass box for me?
Yeah.
Awesome.
What's up, my brother?
How you doing?
All right.
Oh. I'm rocking my front brake with the right hand lever, which is certainly not traditional, but I prefer it that way, and I happen to have a spare length of brake cable here, so I'm hoping that that's long enough to reach the caliper and that everything works out smoothly. But, you know, nothing seems to work out smoothly when building, so we'll find out very shortly. I'm using some spacer sleeves with the Diatech brake lever to bring the clamp diameter down to 22.2 for the risers that I have here. Not sure if this will work out as smoothly as I'm hoping. If not, I also have some other spare clamps that are slightly thinner than these, so let's just try this first and see how it goes. It's looking like it may work. Let's try to install the bolt. Struggles. Here we go. All right. Let's see here. I think we're gonna torque it right around here. Now, this particular clamp demands 90 kilograms of force per centimeter, so we're gonna have to do that by hand with my very special torque wrench here. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly perfect. Nailed it on the first try. I don't know how I did that. Good luck, I guess. So now I'm going to feed the brake cable through the lever here, and I don't know why I keep calling this a caliper, but it's not a caliper. I'm going to feed that through, and let's see here. Well, that part works. Let's see if I can get the caliper installed on the bike. Not too shabby. Wrong size. So this bike is currently set up with a freewheel on one side, and it's called a flip-flop hub. So on the other side of the wheel, you'll notice here it has a fixed gear. Now normally I ride fixed gear. Just for today I'm going to ride it on the freewheel just to see what that's like. I've tightened up my front wheel bolt and rear wheel, tightened down my saddle. I've also tightened down the handlebars and stem. Everything should be good to go. Pedals are also tightened and the toe clips are installed. Toe straps, we'll go with toe straps. So those are installed. It's a little bit different from what I've ridden before in terms of geometry. This particular bike is set up a little bit more like a pursuit bike, so it's got a slightly forward sloping top tube. Aside from that, everything else is pretty similar in terms of fixed gears. Now, I've ridden many geared bikes over the years. I was actually fortunate enough to even help design the paint scheme on a couple of bikes from this brand, Boom, and they gave me a couple frame sets for helping them out. And I actually got my logo. I'm not sure if this thing will zoom in or not. Let me see if I can get it here. I was able to get my logo put in place there. So the build is done, and this is what it looks like. I'm pretty excited to get out there on the road and put in a couple of miles and see how I feel, and hopefully get back to some semblance of normalcy. I really feel at one with the bike when I'm out there, and I really missed not being able to ride for the past few years. So this is a big step in the right direction.